Have you heard of these names before? Brown University and Massachusetts Institute of Technology, November 2025, Providence, Rhode Island. Annunciation Catholic School, July 2025, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Abundant Life Christian School, November 2024, Madison, Wisconsin. How about Robert Elementary, April 2022, Uvalde, Texas? Why do these names, dates, locations sound familiar? They all have one thing in common. These are all sites of mass gun shootings that took place in an educational facility. While most of you have heard of these school shootings, the death tolls, and the number of injured, have you thought of what could have helped prevent these shootings? One thing that I am certain about is that would have been helpful is having staff members with gun safety training, access to firearms, and active shooter response training. We all have or have had children in school. Our children deserve to be able to attend school freely and safe and protected. Creating a prevention plan is key in supporting safe educational environments. One way to help prevent these incidences might be by having school staff trained in gun safety and active shooter response, especially if they have access to firearms. Our kids deserve to feel safe at school, and have a solid prevention plan in place is key. With over 12 years of experience in the military service as a weapons expert and experiencing the 4 shootings myself in November 5th, 2009 and April 2nd, 2014, I've seen the impact that this has taken and the proper training at firsthand. Today, I'll share some stats on school shootings and discuss the benefits of gun safety education and active shooter training. The last thing you want to think about is what you would do in an emergency. Even more so, what those responsible of your children would do to protect them in an emergency. Well, we have to learn to expect the unexpected. After witnessing all of these school shootings, learning gun safety basics is crucial, as many fears of guns is due to ignorance. Guns only fire when the trigger is pulled, so keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to use. That's the basics. Training staff in safety helps handle firearms properly, avoiding negligence, which negligence occurs from carelessness and inexperience. Accidents are caused by faulty safety features, cleaning mishaps, and or checking for unloaded weapons, and again, negligence and not knowing the weapons. Understanding gun safety prevents accidents and fosters responsible ownership by teaching handling, storage, law, and ethics. Active shooter response training is essential alongside gun safety, since school staff are the first line of defense. Having trained staff is super important, since many school shootings happen in just a few minutes. For example, February 27th, 2012, 2 teachers at Corydon High School in Ohio found themselves in an active shooter scenario. After the shooter opened fire in a packed cafeteria, football coach Frank Hall chased the guy down the building where he caught him. Meanwhile, teacher Joseph Ricci quickly locked down his classroom when he heard gunfire, put on a bulletproof vest, and even went out to help one of the victims until first responders arrived. This incident showed that teachers are often a crucial line of defense during school shootings. In 2024, Appalachia High School in Georgia, 2 school resource officers quickly apprehended a 14-year-old suspect right after shots were fired, minimizing further injuries. And back in 2018 in Illinois, a school resource officer confronted a student who was firing a gun in a hallway and shot and wounded the gunman and stopped the threat. According to Risk Management magazine, a school shooting incident lasts an average of 19 minutes, with the first 10 minutes being the deadliest. It takes an average of 3 minutes for law enforcement to respond to a scene, and 66% of active shooter incidences are over by the time the police arrive. According to the trace.org, researchers from Alert analyzed 249 shootings between 2000 and 2021 that ended before police arrived. Most ended with the shooters fleeing the scene or dying by suicide, or by bystanders subduing the shooter without having to wait on the police themselves. In a perfect world, gun violence and schools would never be talked about in the same sentence. We live in the time when we must consider our kids' school safety, which is unfortunate, but our reality, sadly, many school gun violence incidences have occurred. Notably, the Columbine High School shooting in Littleton, Colorado on April 20, 1999, resulting in 14 deaths and 21 injuries. The shooters was the classmates Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, carried out the attack in less than 20 minutes before killing themselves. Critics criticized the police for their slow response. Though it was over by noon, they didn't enter for hours, during which some victims bled to death. On May 24th, 2022, a tragic shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas occurred just before the school year had ended. The shooter, Salvador Ramos, an alumni, killed 21 people, 17 students and 2 teachers, and wounded 18, including his grandma, before targeting the school. Most chaos happened within minutes of Ramos entering rooms 111 and 112. He stayed over an hour while 376 armed officers waited outside. Poor response and communication worsened the situation, leading to avoidable deaths. After 74 minutes, a Border Patrol technical team stormed the classroom, exchanged fire, and subdued him. According to the article from EBSCO, officers approached the classrooms 3 times before going inside. When police first approached the classroom, Ramos fired through the door, grazing 2 officers. Later, an officer outside the classroom told the children, "Yell if you need help." When a girl in room 112 responded, Ramos shot and killed her. Another time, an officer asked the shooter to come out of the classroom to talk. Do you remember the tragic shooting of Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut on December 14, 2012? It was a horrific event where 26 people lost their lives, including 20 kids. 2 others were injured, and the shooter, Adam Lanza, had also killed his mother earlier that day. In less than 5 minutes, Lanza fired off 154 rounds, leading to this heartbreaking loss. The police responded quickly. He entered the school at 9:30 a.m. The first 911 call was placed at 9:35. By 9:39 a.m., officers were on the scene, and by 9:40, the last gunshot was heard inside the building, which was Lanza taking his own life. Many believe banning guns can stop school shootings, but it's often too expensive to install high-tech security system in the schools. Groups like Sandy Hook Promise pushes for stricter laws and mental health support, but full gun bans isn't foolproof, as some and most criminals ignore laws either way. The Second Amendment safeguards gun rights, yet activists seek stricter laws. Currently, 21 states have universal background checks. The Bipartisan Safer Communities Act improves checks for those under 21, funds red flag flaws, and blocks domestic abusers from guns, and supports violence prevention programs. Few examples show gun benefits likely won't be banned due to the Second Amendment. Laws may tighten, but violence will always persist. In 1994, federal assault weapons ban was passed, but expired in 2004. In 2022, Congress passed a bipartisan bill to tighten firearm rules, but without a full ban. In 2008, the Supreme Court struck down Washington, D.C. handgun ban, reinforcing the Second Amendment, making it one of the major rulings in 70 years. In conclusion, having school staff completely trained in safety training will be necessary for protecting our schools. Parents should not fear their children's safety while they attend school. Implementing gun safety and active shooter response training for school staff members is essential to foster a secure educational environment by allowing them to conceal carry and firearm in order to prevent gun-related incidences. I hope it helps gain a new perspective on the needs to support school staff in taking quick action to ensure the safety of our children. Remember, a school shooting incident lasts an average of 19 minutes, with the first 10 minutes being the deadliest.